Oh no!
How dare you?
Stop being a bitch.
All right.
Here we go. All right. And we got a showdown today. Hold on. We got a showdown. We got UM versus FIU here. Top. Obviously, FIU's at the top. I just realized Gus and I.
Man, stop. They don't
Come on,
start that.
Titi, we got bragging rights for now. Come on, let us have this
Come on,
moment, bro.
You
You're
got
gonna take
five.
a brag like tomorrow, dude. Let us have this moment, please.
You got
Bro.
5 rings and we got 1 win. Come on, give it to us. Anyway, it's another Lemon City Live Tuesday. Lemon City Live podcast, episode 229. Gus, what up with that? And it's another Tuesday night. Yeah, bro. TD, get it going. 229. Thank you guys for stopping by. Hang out for a while, chill out, participate in the comments. We're joined today. We got a special guest, Victor Bermudez, who's you're the host or the producer, sorry, of Canes Football on 560, as well as introduce yourself there if you like. Floor is yours.
I'm on Telemundo Deportes. I do some boxing, some Monday to Friday, like late night show for them. I also do Sunday Night Football in Spanish on NBC Universo. But I made my bones in this business and media and radio, man. That's my love. That's my passion. And the Miami Hurricanes broadcast that's where I grew up. A young, raw, amateur producer, got to experience things and learn the ropes on that broadcast. And it's honestly the reason why I continue to go back every year. Every year I do and decide to come back, because it's just a great group of guys. I grew up with them. I've been in the business since I started with them. And that's my baby, man. That's for the city. That's for my hometown. That's Miami, dude. That's anything I do on a national level, whatever awards I may win, whatever I may accomplish on the big stage will never come close to being a part of that broadcast for the Miami Hurricanes. It's home, man.
The awards, see those Emmys in the background. He flexing for real though. So that's what a real Miami Hurricane can do. And he represents our school the right way with those Emmys in the background like that. I appreciate that, Big. We're gonna come strong.
I got you, my man. I got you, bro. This program, man. This university. It's special to me, bro. And it's different. Like, there's a knock on it for being a fan of the Hurricanes, for idolizing Miami because you may not have gone there. You didn't get into the school or whatnot. But to me, the University of Miami, the football team at least, is the team in this city that resembles the city of Miami the most. It has the highest obviously the highest population of athletes that attend or that are participating in the football team are from Dade County, from South Florida. Like Schnellenberger said, the state of Miami. It's different, man. I love the Heat. I love the Dolphins. Actually, I don't love the Dolphins. I love the Marlins. But the Miami Hurricanes are Miami. It's unlike any other team. It's just a lot of these kids, they grew up here, they go there, and it's just, man, I love being around the program. I love being a part of the broadcast. And as I said, it made me the producer I am today. It's the reason why I've had any success in any fashion on any platform is because of the work I've done on that broadcast. So it means, it's dear to me. It means a lot.
Awesome, man. Well, we're glad to have you on, man. It's going to be a fun night here. We're going to talk some Canes football. We're really going to get into it. We haven't really done it so far leading up to season, obviously, with COVID. I mean, there was no, traditional spring game and practice, things to get excited about. It's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, so we haven't been really diving into it. So we're looking forward to that.
We've been adjusting as well.
Yeah, we've been adjusting. Tenard's looking forward to it. But let's go around. Let's introduce the rest of the team here. To my right, there he is, the one and only producer Fungus, making 229 episodes in a row without missing a show. That's my man right there. Right below is the one and only, the hardest working man in showbiz, Super Bowl champion himself, Tenard Davis. Welcome back, buddy. And as I'm your boy, Edwin, a.k.a. Larry Fresh. But yeah, again, man, I want to get into it today. We're going to talk a little NFL stuff, too. We're going to do our usual stuff. But I really wanted to dive into to Hurricane football in particular, because I watched the show. I watched the game this weekend. I got into it. I changed my cable plan, so like the only thing I was able to watch this weekend was apparently the Hurricanes game. So like my attention was definitely there. But yeah, man, I feel like this season, just to cut to the chase, I feel like this season's had a little bit more preseason buzz than we've had in the last few years. Because what?
Before we get into that, bro, we gotta give props to our sponsor, bro.
Of course, bro. Of course.
So, I got excited, bro. It is what it is. Lemon City Live is brought to you by Magic City Highlight. Magic City's 2020 season started May 1st and will run through the end of November. For now, the court will stay closed to the public, but you'll be able to watch all the games in real time on YouTube on the Highlight channel. If you need a sports fix, we highly recommend that you check it out. The Highlight channel also has a ton of other original content to help you understand the games and get you more familiar with the players in the league, like Super Bowl champion Tenard Davis. Go to youtube.com/highlight channel, spelled JAIALAI channel. It's free to subscribe, and you'll never miss a moment of the action. There you go.
That's right, man. Shout out to
Proceed.
That's Magic City right there. Oh, actually, before we dive in on TD, how did it go Saturday with the big with the broadcast on Channel 7? How was that?
So it was pre-tape, but it went well. It showed me and Douglas win.
Nice.
The duels doubles too. The slot was kind of because of the fact that we was playing. It actually showed Sunday, not Saturday.
Sunday, and it was like right in the middle of football, right?
Middle of football, so the viewership I'm sure was pretty low, but it turned out pretty well. Also, too, Scott, he has it going on for the next 4 weeks. Hopefully, he's talking to WSBN to see if they can push that slot up to 1 or 12 right before the Fox Sports pregame comes on, or all those pregames come on, so we can be able to get more viewership. Also, too, when we talk about Highlight, we have this other website we use that's betting with prizepicks.com. You can also, it's fantasy. And you also match your total amount with 25%. So if you put in $200, it matches 25%. And you could be able to bet football, basketball, and highlight. You have to put highlight as a pick too in order to win a parlay. So we also collab with prizepicks.com. So Scott is over there. Our boss, he's working very hard to make sure our side of highlight over there in Magic City is getting all the notoriety that it can get, because Dania Casino is opening up in October. So we're going to kind of low-key be competing with them, but our time slots is going to be different. So we won't
overlap.
Yeah.
We agreed to go at this time, but there's only so many dollars so many people give out when it comes to highlight. So we're trying to make sure we get the most money, and we got to give the best highlight. But to answer your question, it went well. I just think the time slot was pretty cheap.
I got you, but
man, Victor, bro, you said you're super Miami, but it doesn't get more Miami than a former Miami Hurricane playing highlight.
No, it doesn't, man. Like that sport is Miami, dude. That's
all day.
Yeah, that's as 80s as the 80 Hurricane. So
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man.
Funny
story. The first time we went to watch TD play highlight, we saw LT.
Yeah.
Lawrence Taylor was just watching.
Anything with wagering or betting on, I can definitely see Lawrence Taylor involved, man.
Yeah, man. That's still one of my favorite highlights, like memories. It's just that first day we're there to support our boy. Gus and I are just sitting there, and we just look over to our right, and sitting at the table by himself is him, and he's throwing down bets and drinking out of little plastic cups his drinks. He's like, "Yeah, man, let's go." I'm like, "Wow."
Yeah, man. LT's a fun time, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Danny says, "Open up the court, TD. There's plenty of space. Get it together, Magic City."
I know. Hey, trust me, man. I'm gonna try to get y'all boys out there, but y'all gotta sign a waiver, because you get hit by that ball, you can't. Try to get money, man.
I'll bring my own Cesta.
Hey, you go, Victor. You got Jay Gutierrez. You're saying you got humble talk, bro. You're the man, bro. You're the man. You gotta own it.
Yeah.
Man, if I get going, bro, we'll be here till Sunday, and then we'll go for a whole nother week after we beat FSU and make it 4 in a row.
There you go.
So, I mean, it's been a long time since they secured that 4 in a row against FSU.
No.
Back to Tenard's days, so it hasn't happened since then, man. It's a long time, bro. We've been as a program that they've been suffering for quite some time outside of 2017. So I'm happy for them. I'm happy to see them back. Not back. I'm not gonna say they're back because there's certain standards when you're associated with the University of Miami and it's championships that make you back. But it's anytime you're beating the Florida State Seminoles, it's a good season.
Yes, sir. I agree.
Absolutely. But yeah, man. So like we were saying, this is the first time in a while that we got some preseason, buzz, because for the first time in a long time, I feel like I think it's unanimous that we have the quarterback position, fulfilled. Like we got it locked down. We wanted a guy. We got the guy. He came in here. There's no controversy. There's no competition. Mm-hmm. It's his job, and it's been a while since it's been like that. I hadn't seen much of D'Eriq King back when he was in Houston. I saw the stats, I read the stories and stuff, but I was impressed, man. Like you got homeboy is the king right now, man, and he's in the program and he's doing it. TD, I don't know. Did you watch any of the game on Saturday? Like, have you gotten any feel for D'Eriq yet?
Yeah, the entire game. I watched the UAB game too, and the first game he seemed kind of timid. It's like they're trying to still figure out the offense because that was the first game, but we have the weapons for him. That's the most important thing. The dual threat that he brings with the RPO, I feel like it's going to be a game changer. They're trying to compare him to Lamar Jackson. I think that's kind of disrespectful because Lamar Jackson is way faster and a little bit more athletic. But when it comes to overall giving us a different type of quarterback position, we haven't had this in a long time, even before Kenny Kelly, because Kenny Kelly was not as a dual threat with like D'Eriq King. If you can remember, we had a quarterback by the name of Derek Critter. And Derek Critter was good. And I think he was just too early for his time when it came to that quarterback position. Also, Ken Dorsey was really good. But I think D'Eriq King can be one of those, I want to throw the race out there, one of those black quarterbacks that we get at our school and change the landscape of how we're going to recruit quarterbacks from now on and try to get this whole offense transition to that RPO type style offense compared to the spread offense, like how most teams are doing these days when it comes to college football. But D'Eriq King is for real. I think as each game he plays, he'll get more confident. He'll start seeing the field a little bit more. And then once we get to Clemson, I think we'll get the full version of him. And I think we're prepared for that.
They're going to Achilles has to come in and give his Auburn take every time. Good college quarterback. Is he more Cam Newton good or Nick Marshall good? Sorry for the War Eagle anyway. He's not man.
Get Auburn out of here. They're not in the conversation.
Man.
Nick Marshall, bro. Man.
What's that?
He moved to cornerback when he went to NFL. I think he played with the Jacksonville Jaguars and moved to the cornerback. But we're not talking about Auburn. We're talking about
man. Don't Auburn. Let him talk Auburn on Friday when we do the show with him, but not right now, man.
So I agree with what you said, though, TD.
You get what I'm saying with D'Eriq King, though, right?
Yeah.
That's what I see with our university doing. Now, don't get me wrong. We need a pro type quarterback. But now the pro-type quarterbacks are the Lamar Jackson, the Russell Wilsons, and also the Kylo Murray, who just literally stamped his MVP stamp the last two games, showing out how good he is. So these type of quarterbacks are helping D'Eriq King too. And also help his draft status. So,
Dan, wait, hold on.
D'Eriq, keep doing what you're doing, bruh.
Kyler Murray 2 games, and you're saying he already stacked his MVP?
I'm just talking about the way he plays the game, the RPO, spreading out, being a running threat. Back in the day, if you was a running quarterback, you was getting trashed on.
No, yeah.
You got to run a quarterback that can throw, too. I think it's going to help us, and we have to think about this going into Clemson. We don't want to be predictable. Having a guy like him that's a wild card, that's going to help us tremendously, bro.
And honestly, that's where the game is trending nowadays anyways. You got to keep up with the times, you know what I'm saying? So the Canes, they did the right thing by bringing in a quarterback like D'Eriq King.
I will say this. I'll disagree with Edwin as in preseason hype. I think the Hurricanes, maybe I'm being biased, but I think we've had that preseason hype every year. We were ranked in the top 10 heading into Dallas against LSU. What happened there? We were coming off a 2017 where we played for the ACC championship, played in the Orange Bowl. So there was some hype coming out of there. Last season, Manny Diaz, first year as head coach after Mark Richt. Hey, we're going to get it turned around. Hype going into the Florida game. Then I'll disagree with TD. I think we've had that image of a quarterback that we've wanted to have, like a De'Aaron King, Ja'Cory Harris, Stephen Morris. We tried it with Jaron Williams, tried it with N'Kosi Perry, and it just hasn't worked out. Now you bring in De'Aaron King, and it's a match made in heaven. It matches perfectly with what Rhett Lashley's bringing to the table as the new OC, and I think the vision that Manny Diaz had for this team, I think he's the quarterback to execute that game plan. What they've had in mind with quarterbacks in the past, they've tried it. I mean, I was a huge fan of Ja'Cory. I love South Florida high school football. I watched that man at Northwestern. I wanted nothing but the best for that entire 08 Northwestern class. It just didn't pan out. I think we've tried it with the quarterbacks we've had since 08. It's just a perfect match with De'Aaron King. He has the size and the arm strength to do the things that Miami has been trying to do, I think, going back a decade, 12 plus years now.
But Ja'Cory was not as mobile as
That's why I think it's the perfect match. I think they found what they've been looking for this whole time. A dual threat quarterback that can run the ball. I mean, he just had the touchdown, the streak for passing touchdown, rushing touchdown in the game, passing Tim Tebow. Anytime you can break a Florida Gator record, I'm all for it. So he breaks Tim Tebow's record, extends that to 16 straight games of passing, rushing touchdown in a single game. Obviously, they failed twice at the goal line against Louisville. I know they were trying to extend that streak. It didn't happen. But the man throws for 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Anytime you get that from your quarterback, it should lead to a win. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And the way that defense is playing, and, guys, give credit to the offensive line.
Yeah.
The O-line, let's think about this. We start off 2019 with allowing 10 sacks to Florida. Through 2 games, you've allowed just 3 sacks. Not a lot of attention is being paid attention to that O-line, and that's another huge reason for success. I necessarily don't think De'Aaron has the weapons. I don't like to knock any of the guys, but there's a couple 5-star recruits on this team that I was expecting to be 5-star recruits. I just don't like the drops. I think they're letting down De'Aaron King. I think we could have had a lot more yards, a lot more points on the board if it wasn't for those drop passes. Thank God for the dual threat that we have at tight end for Brevin Jordan. I mean, with those guys, that's what's leading this offense. The tight ends, the offensive line, and De'Aaron King. If these wide receivers start making plays, I haven't even gotten to the running backs, guys. If these wide receivers start to make plays, believe the hype, because Miami could be one of the most explosive teams within the ACC.
Who is it that keeps finding these tight ends for the Canes, bro? Like, who was that guy? We need to secure that guy. We need to lock him down. Like, give him a 20-year contract, man.
Yeah, that's one position that keeps on hitting for Miami, man.
Yeah, dude.
Mark Pope, obviously he's wearing number 6, but I don't want to get too close to Santana Moss, but he has that swag like Santana Moss. Those drop balls he should have never had against Louisville, but he is explosive. He is a deep threat.
It's like if he fights, and we were talking about this, and it's like Mark, he goes up and he fights the ball instead of bringing it in. Yeah. It's like these receivers, instead of just letting the ball fall into him, it seems like at times, and look, I'm not no X's and O's, I'm not no coach, so I'm not trying to tell them how to do their jobs, but compared to what the tight ends and how the running backs are catching out the backfield, you see these 5-star recruits, these wide receivers that are supposed to be explosive, supposed to provide like the Santana Moss explosiveness. And last week we saw it from Tutu Otwell. 2 years in a row, Tutu has major success against Miami. And we're talking about a 3-star recruit out of our backyard, Northwestern, who's having major success for Louisville. And you're just waiting for your guys to start hitting and making some of those explosive plays as well. Would just like to see them play up to their potential and what they were recruited to be, those 5-star recruits.
Well, I think he's absolutely right. I mean, the first thing you did was disagree with me, so I know you got some show already.
I'm opinionated, man. I don't try to ruffle any feathers, but I can't just sit back and
No, dude, that's the best part. That's how everybody likes you even more, because everyone's So no, I you guys are absolutely right, man. You're hitting the nail on the head there. But I kind of want to know, like, when you see some of these guys, like you mentioned the dude in Louisville who's from here, and he's had, we overlooked him, I guess, or let him go up to Louisville, and
didn't even recruit him. He was a quarterback coming out of Northwestern, and he wasn't on Miami's radar. Louisville went after him. He was a 3-star recruit, turned him into a wide receiver. Last year, burns Miami for 84 yards, had major success on Saturday against Miami again. And it is what it is. You can't hit on everyone, but when you see a 3-star going to Louisville and having major success against your own team, it hurts a bit. A bit.
Backyard, man. South Ridge though, so we can't get every single 5-star or 4-star that come because of what happened. Our whole entire university just be everybody from Miami-Dade. So some kids gotta go, but the kids that we get, we gotta coach them up right. We gotta teach them the fundamentals in order to make them like a Santana Moss, to make them like an Andre Johnson or a Reggie Wayne. And sometimes we can't just blame the players; we gotta blame the coaches. So
I totally I totally agree with. Something that Miami fans fail to realize is the turnover we've had in this program for, let's be honest.
Past 20 years.
For the majority, for at least the last 20 years, there's no consistency. The coaching staff is constantly changing. Offensive coordinator, Jacory had 4 different offensive coordinators during his stint at Miami. Like, that hurts these guys. It's not fair to them. And I side with the guys. I'm big fans of theirs, obviously watching them since their high school days. I want the best for all of them, and it's just not fair to a lot of them. It's not what college football should be like. You shouldn't have to be, adjusting to a new offense. And we're loving the success we've had through 2 games this year, but it's a whole new playbook that you have to learn, a totally different offense. You're running 70 to 80 plays a game, which is not something that was the norm for them. So it's what TD says, man. It falls a lot on the coaching staff, and these guys are seeing different coaching staffs year in and year out. So it's not fair to them at all.
And how about also, not only learning a new playbook, but learning it this year during COVID when they didn't really have as much time as they probably would have had with these coaches to begin with. You know what I mean?
I necessarily think we had enough time when it came to COVID because all we had was time. If you think about it, we just didn't have spring football. We had the first week and a half, and then bam, COVID hit, and then we had to separate ourselves from everyone else. But they still had the playbook. They still had access to call the coach. They still had Zoom. You can draw stuff on the board. You can still do the fundamentals of just the board talk. But obviously the walkthrough, 7-on-7s, those are very important. Now, Edwin said it earlier in the podcast that this feels like a preseason. That first game, UAB, was like a preseason. It was like a jamboree game. We needed to do that. I didn't like how we played. I felt like we should have blew them out because of the fact that they're UAB. They didn't have a football team 2 years ago. So I feel like we should just knock them out the map. But we won the game. We figured out our issues. We fixed our problems. And we went to Louisville ranked, 18, 17, and did exactly what we were supposed to. We put up more points. The defense still needs to be worked on. I'm kind of concerned about the secondary. Ivy needs to get a little bit more consistent with ball judgment, and I'm kind of afraid with that. Now, our safeties with Bolden, who changed from a cornerback to safety.
That boy's a hitter.
It's a money maker for him.
Yeah.
The money maker. Because what that did is shows that, okay, if we got to put him in the box with an athletic tight end, he can do that. But he's downhill every play. So we out in Blaze, I ain't got to say much on that. That boy he's just doing it. Bro. So we have the talent. I think the coach part. And if he kind of figures it out, if he can tighten his chain up, there might be the weak link. I think we could do something. Because my cousin Gilbert Frierson, he's playing too. I think he can do a little bit more better with making more plays, like going down, taking chances. But if we get it right with the secondary, I think we'll be just fine. We won't put those points that they got, like Louisville did. They probably would have got 10 or 3 points. My personal opinion.
TD, you mentioned tightening that chain, but I got to ask you, Victor, what do you feel about this year's turnover chain?
I've loved every one of them. Personally, my favorite's the 305 one.
Yeah.
Okay. I self-explanatory, but yeah. I love it, man. I think the kids love it most of all, the players, and it shows there's a reason why they lead since 2017 all of college football, all of FBS in turnovers. It's a game changer, man. What it does for that sideline, having been able to be on that sideline and see what it does to them personally. Like I'll never forget the 3 turnovers in the second half against Florida State in 2018. The way Michael Pickney gets that interception and comes back to that sideline, the way he's welcomed, It's really a game changer. There's a reason why Miami's a trendsetter in everything they do. And then you saw the backpacks, and everybody has a chain, and everybody has something, but it all originates in Miami. The swagger's invented in Miami, and I've loved every one of them. But personally, the 305 one is by far my favorite. But this Florida one, there's meaning behind it, guys. Manny Diaz, and like everything, that's the one thing I love about this coaching staff. Everything's done with a purpose. Me being a producer, it's something that I pay attention to. I'm told I overthink things, but notice the state of Florida. The message the coaching staff is trying to send. You look at the state of Florida on the chain, and then the state of Miami, all in orange and green, and that's letting the world know, hey, we're back, and the way we're back is by recruiting the state of Miami. Put that fence in the state, secure those boys, keep them home. And it should lead to what we've had in the past, that what we're known for, that recognition, which is national titles. And hopefully that's the start of getting that back, because in the offseason, it's what I disagreed with Edwin. I think the offseason, there was that hype, because if there's an offseason champion, it tends to be Manny Diaz for the last 2 years in a row. Didn't work out for us last year, but this season, we're off to a good start. Hey, 2 wins, 2-0. 2 double-digit victories against FBS opponents. Hadn't been done since TD's days in 2001, and we all know what happened in 2001 now, don't we?
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you that. You're absolutely right. This season, they've lived up to it. But, yeah.
It's early.
Yeah. Last season was tough, man. Last season was tough. We actually, we're media for all the sports down here. I was the photographer all season last season for us for all the Hurricanes games. And I was down there on the field. I watched it firsthand, man. I saw those games, that Virginia Tech game, the Central Michigan game, the struggles that we had. It was a tough season. Yeah. When it comes to the chain, I think there's so much good. You're absolutely right. I think it's a trendsetter. All these other things are those are phonies. Those are all a bunch of phonies. Everybody's trying to do this. The little stupid backpack, your mask. Some guy has a cane, a throne. They have all this stuff. They're making their own chain. I think I saw Tulsa, the Tulsa Hurricane chain they made. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, the last thing you should do is make any chain, obviously, because it's just going to be compared. I get it. We're trendsetters in that, but I think that when you don't live up to that hype, I think it can be more of a detriment, and that's a scary balance. And I feel like last season it was, I was like, man, how can we be hyping up and doing this stuff if we're down and we're not playing well, or we're down 2 scores and we get a turnover, but we're celebrating. And again, when the guys get those turnovers and they run to the sidelines, I'm there trying to take those pictures, get a video, do all that stuff, and you can feel it, man. Everybody, the crowd is nuts. All the guys on the bench, like they live for that moment. But again, it's a balance. And last season, I felt like it was, obviously it wasn't a good look. This season, though, that new Florida thing, man, with the state of Miami, I like it. My favorite one is Sebastian Ibis. I thought that one was dope as hell, man. That was just a big ass bird, bro. That's the best one.
But Victor, you mentioned how these guys get excited, but there was a few guys in the last game that refused to put it on. I forget who they were. But there were a couple guys. The
turnover chain, or you're talking about the touchdown rings?
Oh, was it the touchdown rings? Okay.
Yeah. Well, De'Aaron King has came out and said anytime he scores a touchdown, he feels that the rings need to go to the offensive lineman. So,
nice. Yeah, that's leadership. God damn.
Yeah. I really love that when he said that after game 1. So
the big uglies don't get enough credit, man.
They don't, and they had, man, they got picked on last year, rightfully so. Look, dead last, 138th in sacks allowed. Deservedly so. That they got picked on, but I'd love to see those guys being praised after 2 games, because the job they've done, guys. 337 rushing yards against UAB. I know the game wasn't pretty, and the outcome wasn't what we wanted. I think there was a lot of drop passes. I think Rhett Lashley held a lot back to not show Louisville what he was capable of. But we got some running backs now. I'll never forget 2 years ago, Larry Bluestein, who covers South Florida high school football. I love Larry. Has done a lot for my career personally and professionally. Told us on the broadcast, don't worry about these Miami Hurricane running backs leaving early. The Mark Waltons of the world, everyone that has decided to pack up and go a year early, the running back position will come back to Miami, and it will be one to watch for. And I'm telling you, the running backs in this system are going to shine and put Miami's running back field back on the map.
Dude, I was...
Run.
Yes, I was watching Cam, bro. And I'm literally watching the game like...
and then run. Because he is running, bro.
Those running backs are a problem, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. Yo, Cameron Harris, after 2 games, and I know, man, you want to temper the enthusiasm. It's 2 games. Well, guess what? It's 2 games against FBS opponents, and he's number 3rd in the country in rushing, and he did it against Louisville. On the road, first road win against a top 20 opponent since 2004 against FSU number 18. 2009. And it's FSU week, so if there's any week you're gonna get hyped and you want to talk the trash, I think this is the week to do it.
And you know that game plan is gonna be about stopping.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
That's, you know what I'm saying? This kid, bro,
baby.
Big back. Like, he's a legit big back that can run. Because when you see him in the open field, he separates. Ain't nobody catching him. You know what I'm saying? He's the big backs. Somebody coming from behind like a linebacker or a DB catching. Nah, bro. He pulling away from these guys. So, like, all the hype that we got and the running backs you said that those guys were leaving early, okay, go. We just go load up the chamber some more and put 2 other good running backs in there, and we're going to keep this thing going. So, look, man, like, FSU, I saw a meme today, and it showed 2 pictures. They showed one picture of the quarterback saying, hey, Miami week, let's go. And you got the reality version of him saying, man, I hope this game get canceled from COVID or something. Like, they don't want to see us, bro. They don't. Their confidence level is at a minimum. It's below the ground. It's underneath what a goddamn tarmac. So we take advantage of this, and we got to keep our foot on their throat and don't give them no air to breathe. Because for some reason they want to play hard against us, right? Because it's rival week. But we got to put them in their place every single year until, for some reason, they say, hey, we got to find a way to play these guys later on in the year, not early no more. Bro, because they're just too good.
I think we'd be really struggling to do a show in Tallahassee right about now, man. Like, that's just some bad times for anybody else. I would hate to be doing any type of sort of, like, what are you gonna? You lost to Georgia Tech, your home opener. You've gotten beat by the Canes. You lost like what?
They lost to what team? The first team they lost, Colgate. Who?
No, they lost to Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech.
But last season they lost to like everybody. UCF, everybody beat them up. Man,
but they 0-2 right now, right?
No, 0-1.
They've only played
0-1.
I thought they
They're gonna be 0-2. They're gonna be 0-2. That's how it is. But
look, man, I said it. It wasn't last year. I think it was the first year of the coaching change. I honestly think, and it's not, I respect Florida State. They're not the Gators. You respect Florida State. They've played you 49 years in a row. It's the longest, rivalry against anybody or series that Miami has had. You respect Florida State. You don't like them, but you respect them. And I honestly think Florida State is headed down the path Miami has suffered through the Al Golden years. It's 3 in a row against Miami that they've lost. And you just see a trend that I don't feel bad for Florida State, but you did pick on us and you did ridicule us about the Al Golden years and what we experienced and the 7 in a row you had over our heads. I think that 7's coming, and I know I'm 3 years out and I'm already counting Saturday, but I do honestly think Florida State's headed down the years that we had to endure with the down years and Al Golden and the 7 straight losses and the 58-0 loss to Clemson. It's just you see it. I think that's a program that's in shambles, man. I like reading over their game notes today, and you're used to seeing a defense that is monstrous and like I'm reading and they're glorifying 3 blocked kicks in game 1 against Georgia Tech where they lost. It's not the game notes I'm used to reading from Florida State. It's not the Florida State I'm used to watching. Florida State losing at Doak to a Georgia Tech, it's just unheard of. And then the losses they suffered last year, again, I don't feel bad for them because it's Florida State, but I do respect you. And it's just, I honestly do think they're headed down the path that Miami endured just a few years ago.
Yeah, Kelly's got the right idea. Tremendo caga.
Yeah, I'm trying to be polite about it, man. But yeah, it is.
No,
it is
it's
a giant turd, man, and it stinks in Tallahassee right now, bro.
So I'm telling you, blame the backpacks, bro. That was the little kiss of death right there, man. When they came out with 4 backpacks, like that just screwed it up for them. But anyway, let's look at this. Let's look at Saturday, man. We got the Noles. It is rivalry week. It is a big game. I know we each have our own selective favorite FSU UM moments that we've all lived through. But
You got college game day, bro.
we got college game day.
Second week in a row for the Canes.
Yeah, second week in a row. It's gonna be exciting. You're gonna have some. I heard. I didn't watch or I haven't seen college game day yet this season. But I heard today Lee Corso's doing it from his house.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, dude, that
Yeah,
guy,
he's older. He's not traveling, so.
Yeah, bro.
that guy's a national treasure, bro.
I think
Yeah.
that's the TV station doing that, not him. They probably want to keep him away from the COVID because of his age.
Yeah, man. Dude, he's
Sure.
you know, Tenard, you know what Lee Corso is actually from Miami. You know, he went to Jackson.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's my God. I think he was
From-
rooming with Kurt Reynolds at FSU.
Yeah, he went from Jackson to Florida State, coached at Louisville a bit as well too.
Yeah, that's where he got his first coaching gig, I think. But yeah, it's Saturday. We've seen what the Hurricanes have done. We like what we've seen. We're seeing this potential. We're not feeling that way about the Seminoles and what we saw in their one and only game. But it's the Seminoles, man. They always bring out the best in us. They always, they play up to us. We play up to them when we're having our bad years, and they're good. We never feel like we're out of it. I mean, do you feel like this season is going to be any different, or do you feel like Miami really has an edge, or how are you feeling about it?
You want to go first, TD? You want me to hit on that?
I started first. I don't always let you get the last talk, brother.
Yep.
First, it's like you said, it's a rivalry week. So every time it's a rivalry week, they can be 0-9 and we can be 10-0. They still go give us like they're number one in the nation because they just want to mess up our season. Them know we're 2-0 and we're ranked. Them beating us is a playoff win to them because of what that is. That catapults them into a position to get ranked as well, and we don't want that personally. So now we have since the Big Ten didn't start, but now starting now, that benefited us getting us ranked this year because this is the earliest we ever been ranked as unranked, and being ranked 18 so low, that's good because usually if you win a game against like UAB, they'll put you in 25, 24, but they gave us 18, and now we're at 12 or something like that. Now we got to destroy FSU, not even make it a game in order for us to get lower. Because when we get to Clemson, we gotta be like at 7 or 5 in order to slide into that top 4 to be in the playoff hunt. So we gotta put our foot on their throat. We're going in there guns blazing. I think Florida State's still trying to figure out what kind of team they got because they lost to Georgia Tech, a tech school that you gotta blow out. That's a wing teeth school. So they're going there guns blazing, trying to embarrass us, and I think we're going to do perfectly fine. I ain't going to say we're going to blow them out, but I'm confident we're going to win.
All right, I like that, Victor. How you taking that?
I feel the same way, man. And that's look, you could say like, oh, he's the executive producer, he's being biased, but I think if Miami's trying to take that step and show not just Tallahassee but the world, hey, we are that team. You don't want to come to South Florida. You don't want to come to Hard Rock Stadium because we will put it on you. You do that against your in-state rival. You do that against FSU on prime time, on a national stage, and show the world they're down, we're up, they're trending down, we're on the way up, we're a viable contender in this ACC. And yes, when these two teams match up, it's usually close games. It wasn't last season. I think we're going to see a first half where, yeah, it's a bit close, but Miami in the Miami heat, humidity at night, under the lights, Hard Rock Stadium, again, only 13,000 fans. It's not going to be what it was Notre Dame, Virginia Tech a couple years ago. It's not going to be what it was FSU in 2018 with that 23-point second half comeback. It won't be that because of the crowd and COVID, but I think it can be in the second half where Miami tends to separate themselves from FSU because I don't think FSU has the weapons to keep up with the Miami offensive attack. And the defense, I like their defensive line. They bring one of the best defensive lines in the country, but I have faith in this offensive line. I think the starts they got under their belt last year and early this season, I think it'll play in Miami's favor. And again, we got a quarterback. They are in shambles when it comes to the quarterback position. They bring in a two-quarterback system, which I'm not a fan of at all. I like Blackman, and when he hits home runs. So it's what TD was saying. Our secondary, our corners are going to have to play well and play up to their potential. DJ Ivey cannot get picked on. DJ Ivey can't be giving up 2 receptions for 45 yards like he did against UAB. Our the corners and secondary are going to have to be aggressive. I think the turnover chain is going to have to come out at least 3 times this game to do what we're predicting. And it's not a win. I think it's if we want to see them blow FSU out the water and show the world that we're a top 10 team, I think that turnover change is going to have to come out at least 3 times.
And all 3 phases have to work. All 3 phases. Offense, defense, and special teams. We don't talk about special teams enough. But it's
we need to hit on special teams, guys. Because and we got FIU Panthers. Thank you for the gift you gave us in Jose. 57-yard field goals are being. I mean, we couldn't hit 20-yarders, guys, last year.
Dude,
so
how many games were decided last season?
They got a bomb.
How many games were decided last season because the Canes didn't have a field goal kicker?
Dude, you talk about the first game was 24-20 against Florida, and that we missed a field goal there. Mm-hmm. We missed field goals in North Carolina. Chip shots like at Duke. There's at least 3 wins on that schedule last year, or 3 losses that should have been wins on that schedule just by field goal kicking alone. Like it's you take it for granted because it's kicking, and you don't think about that, and you take it for granted. But damn, this boy is good, man. That boy, and coming over from Florida and seeing the way how poised he is to hit a 57-yard on the road. Not only does it go up to Louisville and hit field goals from 57 yards, but while I'm in your hometown, while I'm in your city, in your field, I set a record for most field goals made in a game on your turf. Like, that's the swagger Miami talks about. Like TD said, 3 phases, bro. We don't just knock you on your ass on defense. We don't just put up points on offense, but we'll do it on special teams as well. We're missing the kick returns, the punt returns like we used to have with Devin and Duke at running back kicks and Lamar Miller. And you want to take it even further back, we can with Randall Hill-Thrill. But field goal kicking is something I'm grateful for in 2020. And I never thought I'd be saying that, man.
You gotta start somewhere.
Hold on.
And his brother's coming, so this isn't a 1-year fix. His brother's coming from Chaminade next year, so we are set for at least 5 years.
Hold on. Let me just. I think I speak for Gus here. You're welcome. You know, we gave you guys our best kicker. We gave him, bro. We know Jose personally. His mom is a friend of ours on Twitter.
That's true.
The kid is honestly. We've covered FIU as well. That's Gus's beat there, and we've been in the press conference talking to Jose when it's just us and like the one other person there from FIU during the bad seasons before Butch got there. And I mean, we've seen all those guys go through it, but Jose's a great kid, man. He's just focused. He always had the right mindset, and he wasn't scared of the big moment. Like that guy was living and waiting for that opportunity that he got last season against the Hurricanes to really come out there, show himself, and his dream was to be a Hurricane. So you know, it's our loss is your gain.
The money.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna be
taking 56 bombers, like hip shots.
Yeah, man.
TD, his brother in high school is at Chaminade. That boy at Nike camps is hitting 60-yarders. Like when I'm seeing this on 60-yarders, are you kidding me? The Dolphins are struggling to make 50-yarders, and here's our UM kicker making 57 look easy.
Yeah, man.
So like I said, all 3 phases.
Yes.
Totally. In the quarter to make those chip shots. To keep us like if it's a 2-possession game, that field goal make it a 3-possession game. Those are the small things are the difference to apply the pressure on offense. Because the last thing we want is to have our defense on the field as long as we can, and we want to keep our offense on the field as long as we can. So we apply that pressure on the special teams part, like field goals, making those chip shots, because we probably can't get in the end zone. We got to do that. So, like you said, DJ Ivy, the cornerbacks, I think the safeties are fine. I just think the cornerbacks.
Yeah, I agree.
Got to protect those outsides, and then whoever's in the box, like my cousin Gilbert, who's a striker, if they got him coming down, he has to make those plays. He can't miss no tackles. So, like, look, man, it's gonna be a close game. I'm not gonna disrespect Florida State because I do respect them. They go play hard, but when it comes to the fourth quarter, we need to start pulling away. It ain't no more playing around. So that's what I care about.
I got it 45-14. I'll keep it close. All right.
I like that. I like that.
I think Jose is going to be. I think Jose is an NFL talent kicker. I think he's going to be playing on Sundays next year. Yeah, I'm curious though. Achilles has a question here. He says, "Fine, is he a legit NFL prospect? Good. Like, is when we're referring to Derek King, is he a Andrew Luckish guy, or is he a college good quarterback like Tebow, who's kind of we need to have some stuff around him? Both could be great. Wondering what y'all think about his overall talent."
All right. This is Derek King, first year with us. He's still trying to figure out his offense. and he's still trying to figure out himself as a king. We didn't know Russell Wilson was going to be Russell Wilson, right? We didn't know that.
I kind of did.
So
for some reason, I don't know why. For some reason, I watched a lot of his games that year when he was coming out. So I was like, bro, Dolphins, get fucking Russell Wilson. Like, that was just random. I just paid attention.
We didn't know Russell Wilson was going to be Russell Wilson. Now we see how great Russell Wilson is. There's a lot of quarterbacks that hide in the draft and they come out and they, oh my God, where did he come from? He's been around the whole time. He just didn't have the opportunity to showcase his talents on a big scale. Yeah. So Derek King, as he continues to get confident, as he beats these teams the way he's supposed to, and then when it comes to this Clemson, because the Clemson game is going to really cement him as, is he an NFL prospect or is he not? If he goes in there and runs that offense, and we're still undefeated because of his game, he's going to help himself in the draft. Because if Kylo Murray continues to do what he does, if Russell Wilson does what he does, all these mobile quarterbacks do what they do. All it does is help his draft stock.
I was about to say that, man. Just Kyler Murray balling is great for De'Aaron King. Yes. Russell Wilson balling is great for De'Aaron King. All these quote-unquote undersized QBs in the NFL now doing their thing is great for guys like De'Aaron King.
Look, guys, to answer the tweet or the question, in 2018, the last time you saw De'Aaron King play a full season, responsible for over 50 touchdowns. So he's one out of 4 quarterbacks in 2018 responsible for over 50 touchdowns on the season. Number 1, Dwayne Haskins. Where's he at?
Washington.
Oh, with the Washington team.
Selected in what round?
First
round.
Okay. Kyler Murray, responsible for over 20 touchdowns. Where's he at?
Number 1 with the Arizona Cardinals.
Tua, over 50 touchdowns. Where's he at?
On your favorite team, the Dolphins.
Still trying to
drafted in what round? Look, I'm not trying to. I don't want to say he's gonna be those guys, but he ain't gonna be Tim Tebow, bro. He's got a better arm than Tim Tebow. He can run like Tim Tebow. He's got a body like Tim Tebow. This is a big boy, bro. He's a quarterback, but he's got a little gut on him, and he can take some hits. But he's fast.
Yes.
I'm not. I don't know what he'll do in the pros. Anything can go wrong, and who you think is great in college doesn't necessarily work out in the pros.
Yeah.
But if we're going off what his last full season was like, he may have been a first round pick. He may have been where those guys went because he was having major success in Houston, and he's showing it with Miami in 2 games. The touchdowns are there, the yardage is there. He's scrambling. I think he may just be what we're looking for him to be in the NFL. Will he be one of these guys that I mentioned, Dwayne, Tua, Kyler? Maybe not, but I think he'll be better than a Tim Tebow.
Jalen Hurts is one quarterback I can say that's similar. Like, they try to throw trash on Jalen when he came out of Auburn. When he went to Oklahoma, they say he couldn't throw. He couldn't figure out how the mechanics was not there, and that's the one thing they knocked him. He couldn't throw. And he went to Oklahoma, did what? Threw and was number 2 in the Heisman votes. So I don't believe none of these critics no more that this guy can't do this guy can't do that, because they don't know what the hell they're talking about half of the goddamn time. So this guy, like I was saying, Derek, if he does what he's supposed to do and quiet all the naysayers and does his job and plays to his strengths, an NFL team will see him. A team that knows that, okay, we may have a steal in the draft if he continues to get his game better. Now, you said he's a big boy. He may have to lose weight only because it's the eye test too. They want to see the eye test. That sometimes they want to, but at the same time, if he does his job, beats FSU, stays undefeated, gets us to rank 5, going into the last week of the ACC championship, the rest is history, bro. He's writing his own book.
TD, you mentioned it earlier, man. It's the reason why he came here. The big games. He's at Houston. It's just you don't get the notoriety that you do in Miami. So there's a reason why he chose Miami, because of these games, the FSUs of the world, going up to Clemson on October 10th. I personally believe you're going to get a top 10 matchup, number 1 Clemson versus I don't know what Miami will be. They're 12 now. They beat FSU. You would think they only go up and they'll crack the top 10. Plus, you play the politics into it. ESPN's going to get involved. They're going to want a top 10 matchup. 3 weeks in a row for Miami in prime time, 3 college game days in a row. I see this being the reason why De'Aaron King decided to come here. Big games. I think the schedule played out in his favor because of the way it shaped out. COVID actually is helping De'Aaron King and his draft stock, and what he decided to come to Miami for, because there's no easy games. UAB is out of the question. That's it. You got through UAB. Now it's 10 straight ACC games. And, brother, the ACC, as much as you want to criticize them and be down on them, there's some explosive offenses, and there's some really good teams in the ACC. It's not the SEC that's just top-heavy. The ACC can beat you week in, week out, whether it be Duke, Georgia Tech. You just saw what they did to Florida State on the road. There's no easy games in the ACC like you have in the SEC. There's some off weeks. Like, there's sometimes Alabama's playing some schools that you're okay. This isn't what you would get in the ACC because there's more parity. Alabama, the separation from Alabama to the bottom of the SEC is just that's way too big of a gap. You don't see that in the ACC. So he's gonna get some games that are really gonna hopefully put him on the map how he wanted to coming to Miami.
Wonky says we have Borealis last season. We lose max 2 games. Maybe.
Yeah, it's what I'm telling you. Like, I think he's a game changer. And guys, kickers, they don't get any love, and maybe they shouldn't. TD can tell you he's a former football player. They get disrespected, but you realize the importance of them when you get a Jose, when you have Bubba Laxier and you're missing chip shots, when you have DJ Dallas run 65 yards against Virginia Tech, put them up, and you just need an extra point to go ahead and secure that victory, and you end up going to overtime. Like, man, that's when you're like, Jose would have won this game. Like, we would have been celebrating in the locker room this comeback victory, and instead you got an overtime loss to Virginia Tech on your home field.
Dude, I was in the freaking rain standing there watching him run towards me, and I was like, yeah, we got this! And then that
crowd goes nuts, man, and then you miss the extra point. Think about how many times last year Manny Diaz had to go for it on fourth down.
Yeah.
De'Aaron King said it best after the Louisville win. You get past a 50, and you're already in field goal range because you feel that comfortable with Jose.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a different mindset, man. Like, let's just get past the 50, and I'm guaranteed 3 points. You know the game changer that is? The mindset that puts the offense with, and it's just a comfort level, man. Like, you have a field goal kicker that can literally make 57-yard field goals. That's no chip shot.
Makes the game plan so much easier as a coach.
Right?
More cocky. Get them a little more confident and taking chances, too, because you got a field goal kicker that if we get past the 40-yard line, we can take a chip shot. So sometimes 4th and 1 in an area that you may not get it at, you'll go for it because if you get the ball back with your defense, we can chip shot it because we got a good kicker. So, yeah, man, listen, man, you said it, Vic. You don't appreciate them enough until you need it. They're like a gun. A kicker is like a gun. You'd rather have it than not need it. And then when you need it, you better goddamn have it because
and fellas, if there's any week that you need to appreciate field goal kicking, is it not Miami FSU week?
Oh yeah,
absolutely,
100%, dude.
Absolutely. So I want to before we move on from
Canes
here real quick, I do want to say one thing. Gus and I, we've really gotten to know Borealis and watch him play, man. Like, he's legit. I just hope that because there's going to come a game where he's going to struggle. Everybody has those games. I just hope, the fans don't turn on the kid. He's legit. He's gonna win you games, man. He's gonna win you a lot of games. He's gonna put you in position to win. So we hope and wish all success for him. But I want to ask you, Victor. I don't know how much, if you've been around the team so far this off season and leading into the game. We haven't had as much, obviously because of the conditions, we haven't had as much exposure to it. But I'm curious. We talked about COVID, man. It's the big elephant in the room that we try to avoid, and we just want to pretend everything is good. But I just heard today Notre Dame and were they playing? I forget. Notre Dame canceled their game.
Wake Forest.
And 7 guys on their team, caught the Rona. So it's still out there. We can't, forget about these things. I don't know. Have you, if you've had any interaction with the team or the facilities, how do you feel about what they're doing to protect their players and try to keep as many guys safe and, able to play?
Again, I'm going to sound like the homer. I'm going to sound like, hey, you're just a bias. You're defending Miami. I honestly do think the University of Miami is the reason why college football is being played this year. I think the president, Frank, I think what the university has done, the plan they put forward, with James Blake, and the way they led those meetings with the ACC, with college football. I think the University of Miami, their president, their athletic program is the reason why college football is being played this year. I think there's been a ton of hurdles that we are feeling it. I haven't been around the team, and I'm used to being at practice. I would go every week, go down there, talk to the guys, get my one-on-ones, have conversations with them, let them know what I'm planning for pregame, exactly what I needed from them. Traveled with the team on away games, team flight, hotel, coming back, and we haven't had those interactions. There's two guys that are around the program, which is Don Bailey Jr., Joe Zagacki, getting tested 3 times a week just to attend practices. But yeah, we're not traveling. We're not speaking with the coaches like we used to. It was on a more intimate level, one-on-one. Now everything's being done over a phone, over a Zoom call. No post-game conferences. It's all through phone or whatnot. So it's just a crazy time, man. I mean, I've been a part of this team since 2007, and for the first time, there's no field access. I can't go on the field, can't go into the locker room, can't, get the relationship you're used to having with these guys and building it. It's a ton of obstacles, and you're seeing it. And, you mentioned Notre Dame, and last week it was UVA and Virginia Tech, and I'm sure it won't be the last.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get the Big Ten going, and it's just it won't be the last games to get canceled. We're talking about COVID. Florida State's coming down here without their head coach.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a crazy year, man. And I'm sure it's not going to be the last game to get postponed. Hopefully there is no cancellations and they can make it up. We were already, thinking, what are we going to do? Because Florida State, they have their coach tested positive. Did he expose any of the kids? Okay, we're looking at open dates. Oh, we can make this up on October 31st because we both have an open date. I think it's just going to be a crazy year, man.
And it's going to be very challenging for everybody involved. And it sucks because I can't go to the games because, no photographers on the field this season. And so it's, we're sending our reporter over there. So if you see Gabe out there in the press box, but we'll be watching from home. So, it sucks. I obviously I enjoy being out there and being close to the action. I don't mind standing in the rain, even if we miss those extra points. Those are always, it's always just nice to be out there, man. It's a different feeling. And hopefully we'll go back to having that normal feeling and having fans in here in a safe and proper way here. But I do want to transition. I want to talk a little NFL. We went hard there with the Kane stuff. I love it. Victor, if you want to stick around, man, and talk some NFL with us, dude, you're more than welcome, bro. This is a welcoming environment here. But I do want to get into some NFL stuff. I do want to talk a little bit about Dolphins. I got some Phonies and Bullies. That's what I'm excited about. You're down, right?
Come on, bro.
But Victor, you mentioned earlier that you're not a Dolphins fan. So what's your NFL team?
Yeah, what's up with that, bro?
It's the Buffalo Bills, bro.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
hold on. He's gone.
Oh my God!
Come on, bring him back.
Man, you can't. Bill, man, really? Are you okay? You like an old Jim Kelly, like 1990s Bills fan? Or?
That's what it is, man. That's what it is. I started watching NFL early 90s, and I didn't know any better. So I see, Jim Kelly, college Miami. I'm like, he's from Miami. He's where I'm from. Oh, and they're doing well, and the shotgun offense, and they're going to Super Bowls, and so that's how. Yeah, man. I ended up being Bills Mafia, bro. And right now I'm loving it. 2-0. Josh Allen. You want to talk about Kyler Murray? How about Josh Allen for MVP front runner right now?
Nah, I ain't gonna put him as MVP, but he's a.
Yeah, you already got Kyler Murray there.
Man, he is a man out there, bruh. For real. He reminds me of Cam Newton, just a white version. Like, real.
Yeah.
He's like, for real,
he
man.
takes some hits, yeah.
And you gotta respect him as a dual threat. Like, he's not he's not. If he's cracking through that offensive line, he's gone. And you better give him that because he gonna try to truck you too.
Well, we've been covering the Dolphins now for a few seasons as well. And Josh Allen's first game in Miami, his rookie season, that was it went down to the last play of the game. He did some scramble, threw a kind of Hail Mary, blocked it. We ended up winning the game. We Dolphins, sorry for your loss there, Victor, but sorry, not sorry. Dolphins ended up taking the victory that day, but Gus and I were blown away because everybody we talked to after the game in the locker room, everybody in the Dolphins locker room had nothing but like praise about Josh Allen.
Yeah.
He's 4-1. Yeah, he's 4-1 as a starter against Miami, and I believe the game you're talking about, it right at the goal line, and it was your former tight end. Was it Clay who dropped the pass at the goal line? And if not, he'd be undefeated against Miami.
Charles Clay.
Yeah, man.
Look,
but
I didn't know much about Josh Allen coming out of college, so when I'm watching the draft, I see the Jets take Sam Darnold. I like USC. I think USC is the Miami of the West, so I watch a lot of them. I think they got that swag out west, so I can see how the two schools. Big fan of USC for a long time out west. So I was big on Sam Darnold. I was like, man, I want that kid. But what I was told the moment the Bills drafted him is you got the steal of the draft. He's got a strong arm, which you're going to need in Buffalo to throw in that wind, and they feel they can coach him up and teach accuracy. And year 3, you're starting to see that he dropped some dimes on Sunday, and last week against the Jets that you're like, how does he get that in there? Then he makes some boneheaded plays that you're like, how do you overthrow Diggs wide open? So it's just, he's in year 3 and you're starting to see some signs of some promise. But I like him, man. I think there's some huge upside, and I like what the Bills have done with his career thus far.
I think I'm telling you, he's been very impressive, and we were blown away by all the praise that everybody on that defense had about him. They said, yo, this kid's going to be legit. He's going to be really good. Watch out. He impressed everybody. There's a lot of praise for a rookie coming and considering the circumstances. And
the Bills got some former Canes. We got John Feliciano out there too, man. So we always have some former Canes on the Bills Mafia. So
yeah, that's true.
But you one of those Bills Mafia that jumps off of like the
man. Every time I see those folks, I'm like, I don't understand why I'm a fan of this team, bro. Because I'm nothing like them white boys, bro. I'm from Dade County, man, from Hialeah. Like, I'm not jumping. I may be throwing somebody on a table, but I ain't jumping on no table.
But wait, okay, so hold on, man. Hold on. So you were born, you're a Hialeah kid, you were born and raised down here.
Yep.
And you knew that there was a guy named Dan Marino at the time playing for the Dolphins.
I did.
You still gravitated towards the enemy at that time. That's fascinating to me. I mean,
I did. I was young. I didn't appreciate Dan Marino. I would notice Dan Marino always criticizing his wide receivers as if it was their fault and he could do no harm. And then just the chemistry Jim Kelly had with his offense, his running backs, his wide receivers, Andre Reed, tight ends. And then just the fact that the college said Miami. I was like, this is my guy.
Yeah. Well, Jim Kelly's he's a legend, man. I've always respected him. I've always loved his style of game, man. He was just a big hoss quarterback. TD, I know your brother-in-law Ernie is a huge Bills fan because he was the kid in the Nick. I actually know his brother-in-law. We grew up together, and I remember he had a Bryce Pop jersey. That's how much he loved the Bills.
Oh man, Bryce Pop, 95.
Yeah, dude. So that's an old school Buffalo Bills name there. But yeah, Bills Mafia is real in Miami. My uncle was born and bred in Miami. He's a lifelong Bills fan. Man,
I was
Super Bowls, man. I don't know.
Man, I was talking to Joe Rose earlier this week. He told me half the stadium was Bills Mafia.
Yeah,
that's usually how it goes.
I've always loved the when you have the rivalry, and I like that in the AFC East. We have our beef that we've had with the Patriots. Although with the Patriots, man, I feel like there's more front runner fans, bandwagon fans that are going to jump on the Patriots bandwagon whenever they come down here. Like, Tom Brady gets a first down and the whole stadium erupts, And I don't think that in the heyday of Bills and Dolphins or even Dolphins and Jets, you had it so much one way. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, for instance, like you said, you grew up a Bills fan. So you used to go to those Dolphins games back in the 90s, and it was 50-50. There was a lot of Bills fans, but they never overpowered the Dolphins fans, you know what I'm saying? It was a heated contest. You had that emotion. I like that. With the Patriots, I don't know. I guess maybe Dolphins haven't been, to the same level.
And I would go to those Bills fans, but I'm from here first and foremost, man. So I never wore any Bills gear, and not because I wasn't trying to avoid conflict or whatnot, but it's just I wasn't gonna try to disrespect my own hometown, like my people. Because at the end of the game this is why I love this Miami Hurricanes broadcast, because I'm born and raised here. I'm not going to disrespect my own folks just for an organization that, is miles away up in upstate New York. But I think what you were alluding to, I think the issue is we saw it with the Miami Heat, and not to change topics, but now all of a sudden you go to Madison Square Garden and you hear chants of "Let's go Heat" at the supposed mecca of basketball, and it is what it is. If you're under the age of 25, all you know is the New England Patriots. Yeah. So even if you're down here and you're watching NFL and your Miami Dolphins haven't done anything, have won the division once in the 2000s and 2008, so like who are you gravitating? It's the same way the nation loves the Miami Heat because of the big three, the Heatles. And you have fans in Milwaukee and New York and LA and Utah and all these other places. I think that's why you're seeing. Plus, you got a bunch of transplants in Miami. You're always going to have fans from out of town.
I hate Andre Reed. Me too.
I love Andre Reed. Love Andre Reed.
Victor, I respect you never wearing a Bills jersey at a Dolphins game. Edwin is the guy that wore a Phillies jersey at a Marlins game.
Yeah,
I'm not that dude, man. I'm not that dude. I own them. I have Bills Mafia gear, but just to the stadium, I just wouldn't do. And it's not because, again, it's not because I'm afraid of conflict or whatnot. It's just like I'm gonna root for the Bills, but I'm not gonna rub it in your face. I'm not gonna be that dude, man.
Yeah, well, I had a beef with the Marlins for a couple of seasons there, but I can report that we're on better terms now. So
yeah.
I'm not.
Look, I go to the Marlins games if they're playing the A's, I'm wearing an Oakland A's jersey because Marlins weren't around till '93. So when I was watching baseball in '88, I was, I was rooting for the Oakland A's. So that's
how you know he's legit Miami.
Yeah.
If your team started coming around after I was born, like in the '90s, you can't really say nothing about that. Like I was born in '83, so I will never go and disrespect the Dolphins. But the Marlins '93 and then whatever, you came too late to the party, man.
I do like that.
Yeah, it's their home team, but man, I was rooting for the A's since '88. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, just give them up?
No. I feel I have a soft spot for on this well documented on the show here for Dale Murphy and the Braves of the.
Yeah. Every South Florida fan, you're either a Braves fan or a Mets fan because it's all we had down here, or maybe the Yankees because of preseason, or spring training, I should say.
For sure. But Jose Canseco, man, I grew up a few blocks away from Jose Canseco Street, so I was from the West End area, so I understand. I used to have the white batting gloves. I wanted to be Canseco and McGuire. I was all about it.
That's the sweetest jersey in sports, bro.
It is. It's a super, super sweet one. But yeah, Evan with TD for real. I remember he used to draw the Bills logo on the back of his JanSport when we were in school together.
Sounds like him, yeah.
Yeah, he was hardcore. All right, so let's roll. Dennis, do you have the Bullies and Phonies ready for us? All right, so I got there we go. Hell yeah. All right. So Victor, this is what we call Phonies and Bullies, man. We were gonna go through, I think we got 5 teams set up here, and we're just gonna be brutally honest, man. Do you think this team, today's focus is strictly on teams, do you think this team is a phony or a bully? And then defend your point on it real quick. We try to go through it kind of fast, kind of fun. Dennis will give us the teams here. Now, disclaimer, these are all 2-0 teams right now. There's about 11 NFL teams right now that are 2-0.
So we're talking about my Bills.
Wait, well, you know what? I gave your Bills a pass because we kind of expected them to be 2-0. We gave them a pass, so we're not going to debate the Bills. And it's actually good that your Bills.
No unanimous talk here.
Yeah, we're you're not gonna get the Chiefs and the Ravens. We're gonna talk about the teams that are a little bit here. Okay, so let's get the first one from our boy Dennis here. What do you got?
Steelers.
Oh, wait, where'd it go? Here we go. Steelers. All right, Phonies and Bullies. He's got Steelers. Oh, he's got the new little scroll today. Okay. All right, who wants to go first? Who's talking Steelers right now?
Well, I'll go first since I'm the NFL guy.
Give it to me.
I'm going to call the Steelers a bully.
All right. Why?
We got the original bully who's playing nice guy now because he's in the last end of his career, and that's Big Ben. Big Ben is the difference maker on that team. You had Hodges last year. You had the other guy who got hit by the DN from the Cleveland Browns in the head. Those two quarterbacks. They were still in the hunt in the playoffs, but they didn't have that quarterback. Having Big Ben back on the team gives them a chance to be a difference maker in that division. Also going against Lamar Jackson and those Baltimore Ravens. You got a healthy Juju. Now you just need the running back to come back, and I think they got a complete team. So I'm thinking the Buffalo Bills. I'm sorry, Buffalo Bills. I think the Steelers, to me, are a bully, and the Buffalo Bills are a bully too.
Gus, what do you got? Give it to me, Gus.
I'm gonna go bully also, man. And one of the big reasons is their coach, bro. He's a great coach. Mike Tomlin's a great coach, man. Look what he. I think last year he should have won Coach of the Year with what he did with that team, dude.
Okay. That's all you got on the Steelers?
That's all I got. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Didi said a lot of it. Victor,
Yeah.
what do you got?
I gotta go bully, man. And it's for the same reason you guys have mentioned. I love Mike Tomlin. I don't understand how the Dolphins let Mike Tomlin leave their facility. Oh, he's too hip-hop for us. Well, how has that too hip-hop worked out? You got a Super Bowl winning head coach. Last year, they have no business being in the playoff run. It wasn't until they went up against the Buffalo Bills in Sunday Night Football that they were eliminated from the playoff contention. He does it year in and year out. He loses Antonio Brown, finds a way to make up for that defense. That's the one that's why they're the real bullies. That defense that goes up to MetLife Stadium and limits Saquon Barkley. I know he got hurt, didn't have a good game week 2, but no one knew that. No one knew what Saquon was going to suffer a season-ending injury, and no one knew what to expect out of Saquon week 1. But they bullied Saquon in that game and limited to 6 yards in the third quarter. That defense and Mike Tomlin. That's why the reason the Caesars are the bully.
Man, I like it. You can tell this guy's professional as fuck, man, because he managed to not only take a shot at the Dolphins, but with the Tomlin letting him go, and he threw in his Bills taking their double jab.
Bro, I'm swinging from all corners, bro.
I like it.
I'm making a living off this, man.
I'm gonna go different, man. I'm gonna say they're phony. I know, and this is why. Okay. First of all, you're absolutely right with everything you said about them in week 1 versus everything you said about them in week 1 versus the You're absolutely right. They shut down Saquon. I was like, yo, and I took notice. I took so much notice that going into week 2, I benched Melvin Gordon on my fantasy football team because I was like, you know what? There's no way he's going to do this. Drew Lock? No, nothing. And then what happened? They take Drew Lock gets hurt, and I don't even know who the backup is in Denver. That ended up scoring all that kept the game close. Like, it was actually a lot closer than it was. So because of that, I'm going to go still phony. Those guys have a lot of upside. But for me to say you're a bully, I want to see a little more. So I'm going to go still on the phony because of how they played against a backup quarterback that I don't even – who's the quarterback in Denver? Who was the guy that
Drew Lock.
No, but
the
Drew Lock
backup.
got hurt.
The backup or Drew Lock?
Drew Lock got hurt. That's what I'm saying.
He got hurt.
That we can't even name right now. Ended up taking him to the woodshed.
Briscoe, I think his last name.
Jeff Driscoll, the former Gator.
Right? Yeah. So if that guy has a great game against this defense, that was because his stats were pretty good.
But where was the game at? Was
it Denver? I don't know.
Like any time you travel to Denver. Like that's a problem. It's just
Denver, Edwin. Yes or no?
Huh?
Have you ever been to Denver?
Me? No.
Okay. Go up there and try to run a gasser, like run back and forth as hard as you can. That tight air will hit you like a ton of bricks, bro. I got called up to try out for the team. Not try for the team, but they brought me in on Tuesday to try out, and I had to do a 40-yard dash up there. Bro, I literally had to sit down because I feel like I couldn't feel my feet. That's how bad it is up there, man. If you're not used to it.
Well, here's the thing. The game was in Pittsburgh. So how about that? I just looked it up.
Then the excuse is just a short week after a Monday night. Denver coming into town. They took them lightly because it's Drew Lock. That's going to be a powerhouse in the AFC North.
They will, but based on that performance, and right now, if you just keeping the 2-game sample, I didn't know. Alex Campbell, is this real? Yeah, bro, this is a real show, man. Dennis, they just signed Blake Bortles, okay?
That's not promising for them.
And Chanel had the right one.
Driscoll's, yeah, baby, Driscoll's.
Yeah, look at it. It's a problem traveling to Bolivia or to Denver's trash. Okay. All right, first round over, Gus. Dennis. Give us the next one. Who we got? Titans. There you go.
Come on.
Hey, who I'm going to talk about?
I thought we weren't going to do any obvious ones, bro.
Hey, listen, bro. You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, dude.
They bullies.
Was it bully?
Back in
Bully.
the bully
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Let's go. Another Dolphin that went somewhere else to be great. And my man Ryan Tannehill with 4 touchdowns, bruh. Not 1, not 2, 4. 4 with a Derrick Henry. He didn't really do much. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, Mike Vrabel has the answer to the test in that division. And he's about to win that division. He's about to probably put in a chokehold for probably like 2 to 3 years because of Ryan Tannehill. You go respect Ryan Tannehill, Edwin, before his career is over. Ryan Tannehill is the reason why they're bullies. Ryan Tannehill.
Anyway, Gus, you give me what you got.
Bullies, bro.
Bro.
Listen, everything that TD said is facts. But they also have one John U. Smith, my friend, from FIU. That guy is a super bully. He's like one of the better tight ends in fantasy right now. So I gotta go for my guy.
Yeah, I'm with that. All this Dolphin slander is making me want to drink right now too. All right, Victor, what do you got? What do you think of the Titans?
I think they're bullies, man.
Damn.
I gotta agree with TD, man. I think Ryan Tannehill is showing that the Miami Dolphins organization, prior to Brian Flores, was a disaster. Didn't know what they were doing. I think they wasted Ryan Tannehill's time. I think we're showing now what he can be. Then remove Ryan Tannehill if you don't want to give him credit because you're a former or you're a current Dolphin fan and you just don't want to admit the fact that your team flopped and misused Ryan Tannehill and didn't surround him with the right weapons. I think they have great receiving core. I think their defense, Jadeveon Clowney's playing on a 1-year deal. He's gonna show the world, hey, I should secure that bag after the season because I'm still worth it. And I think the running game is just, I think they're the bullies in that division because of Ryan Tannehill, because of the running game, because of the defense, and because of the coaching.
All right,
Edwin, don't make me fly back tomorrow. Do not be that guy.
Look, you guys put up interesting and compelling arguments here, okay? But first of all, you're all dead wrong. Ryan Tannehill is trash, okay? He's holding it down again, we didn't give him the weapons. We gave him all the weapons. He had all the opportunity here. We had that guy for like 10 years here, but it felt like 10 years, and we never got anything out of him. Congrats for him, what he's doing there. But I'm going to say that but not for any of the reasons. I called him a bully, TD, so smile, all right?
Thank you, all right, because I didn't want to look.
Not for any of the reasons you guys said, all right? Because all your reasons were wrong. All your reasons were wrong, okay? All of them. The only reason that they're a bully is because Derrick Henry has still not gone off in 2 games. And that guy is a beast. That guy is a workhorse, and they've been able to win without Derrick Henry having those Derrick Henry games that we saw last season that made him the NFL leading rusher, that the workhorse, everything. We haven't seen that game. I think he had 80-something yards this week against Jacksonville, and I forgot what he had week 1 against the Chargers. We haven't had that exposure. Just because of that, because I know what Derrick Henry, who's a bully, what he's shown to do, what he's capable of doing. He hasn't done it yet. It tells me that that's a bully move right there for them. So I'm going to give them that.
You sound like somebody who's going to court representing themselves as an attorney, bro. That no at all. How can Derrick Henry not play well and still make them a bully? Just give Ryan Tannehill his credit, bro. Stop. You treat him like an ex-girlfriend, like he cheated on you with your best friend or some shit like that, bro. This dude can play. The Dolphins just fucked up.
Guys, do me a favor. Stand up and show everybody what the real quarterback of Miami looks like. Show the shirt, baby. It's Tua time in Miami.
He's on the sideline.
Tua Libre, that's classic.
Right now, bro. He's on the sideline with a clipboard until he goes out there and win a game.
Bro, that's That's a bully that's still evolving that you're not going to be able to contain, bro. He's going to destroy anything Tannehill ever did in minutes, okay? That guy's just way better than anything Tannehill ever did.
Edwin.
Playoffs is because of Ryan Tannehill. Let's see if Tua gets them to the playoffs first before we start.
Edwin, time is going to prove you wrong, Edwin. Remember when you used to trash Aaron Rodgers? Who's your fantasy quarterback right now?
Bro,
Thank you. In 3 years, when Ryan Tannehill's your fantasy quarterback, I'll replay this little segment right here.
You can call me out if I ever have Ryan Tannehill on my fantasy team, okay? But Aaron Rodgers, that's a whole different story. I just think he's still overrated. But anyway,
you're saying Tua will surpass anything Ryan Tannehill has done?
Anything, easy, quick, like he's.
Ryan Tannehill was in the AFC Championship last year, no?
He handed off the ball for like I don't know how many weeks in a row. I mean, good job, Derrick Henry. Good job, Derrick Henry, baby. Good job, Derrick Henry. Just taking him. Well, Derrick Henry said, "Hey, Tannehill, jump on my bag." And Tannehill was like, "Hey, look at me, guys, just throwing little dinks and dunks." There was nothing there. Russ was right about one thing. John U. Smith, that guy from FIU, man. He's had some good games, but he had an exceptionally good game this week with the 2 touchdowns and really put himself as a force, man. I love to see that for my Panthers out there. I know we don't have many pro Panthers out there, so we get excited when they do good like that. So, wait, Janelle says Titans are bully. Tannehill has a line now, and Derrick Henry, El Tractorcito, is a bully. Yeah, see, a part of that statement is good. Wait, hold on. Titans will always be a first-round playoff exit. Phonies. Thank you, Achilles. Thank you.
But they weren't a first-round playoff exit last season.
Achilles, I like you, Achilles.
That's true.
Don't make that like you.
All right, Dennis, give us the next one. Hey, everybody's hating on me, but I went bullies with them, so you can't get too mad. Bears. All right. Bears. Mitch Trubisky, bro. What's up?
Again, I'm a Trubisky's fan. Trubisky's. Because then he gives me that feeling like I'm eating biscuits sometimes. Like, you ever had a biscuit with honey on it? Like, that's how he makes me feel sometimes. Sometimes you're like, you eat it, you're like, okay, oh shit. That's what he gives me. Mitchell Trubisky he's going to take the Bears far this year. His back is against the wall.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to name them bullies to get to the point. Only because he's playing with his back against the wall. You ever fought a bully and you put his back against the wall and he's like, oh shit, and he go knock your ass out? That's what Mitchell Trubisky's going to do right now. So give him the bully role. The Bears are a bully only because of him. And the further he goes, that's where the Bears goes. I'm a Nick Foles fan too. Don't get me wrong. I've always been a Nick Foles fan. He needs to stay sitting on the bench and help this guy become a great quarterback at the Chicago Bears. Let's go.
You see, Victor, this is how you win points. Everybody hates me, so with all the shit he's saying on Tannehill, yeah, it's right. And what is it? Edwin sounds like Lindsey Graham saying we can use his words against him. Okay.
All right.
Let's talk more about Tannehill. No overrated talk. That's for another show, Dennis. I see what you're doing there. All right, Gus, what do you got? Give it to me.
All right. TD, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with you, bro. Phonies. And you never put a bully up against the wall. He puts you up against the wall. So if he's against the wall, he ain't no bully, bro. He ain't no bully. Even if he fights back, he's just an underdog.
Then he got to show that he's the real bully.
He's got to show. He hasn't shown it to me. All he's shown is that he's capable of being pushed up against the wall. Okay. And another thing, bro, I can name like 3 guys on that team, and one of them is the kicker, and it's because he went to my high school. That's it. Bro, Eddie Pinheiro, bro, that's my guy.
The truth, man.
He's the dude, man.
Stay with your biscuits.
There you go. All right. Victor, what you got?
Phonies, bro. TD, I heard your biscuit. Have you ever had that KFC biscuit, that Popeye's biscuit with nothing to drink, nothing to swallow that biscuit down with? Watch that. You ever had that feeling and it's just there and it's mush and you can't swallow and it's just stuck there between your teeth and in your gum? That's Mitchell Trubisky, my man. I saw Mitchell Trubisky play too much ACC football. I saw him come down here and need a favor from the referees and a touchdown in the back in the end zone. If not, they wouldn't have walked away with a victory in Mark Richt's first year, his only loss at home. I saw him play ACC football And again, I'm no front office man. I'm not one to tell you who's right and who's wrong or who's going to be a legit quarterback. But I saw the man in the ACC. I saw him struggle. I saw him have one good game against Miami. It was a mediocre game at best. I've seen him struggle in the pros. I don't think he's legit. I think he's a huge phony. I think Nick Foles is a huge phony. I think Nick Foles is good for maybe 5-6 games a year. Had the Philly special in the Super Bowl. The one time he did anything well in his career, a playoff run. Outside of that, what has Nick Foles given you? Went up to Jacksonville. How did that go? His previous stint in St. Louis, Los Angeles Rams. How did that go? Mitch Trubisky, his wide receiver already wants to bolt because he's not a fan of his either. There's nothing there on that team. There's no running back. The wide receiver is disgruntled. He wants out. The quarterback play sucks. The defense is mediocre at best. And they're playing in a division that's loaded with the Vikings and the Packers. Nah, man, that team, the whole team's phony, and Mitchell Trubisky's the biggest phony on the team.
Damn!
How's that biscuit taste?
That biscuit is horrible right now. I need a whole bunch of water.
I'm not a fan of Trubisky, man.
Even with the Nick Foles one, I needed a whole gallon of water because he said phony. I said, Jesus Christ, let me get up out of here, man. Oh my God.
He just took you and put you in the corner and just tat right there. Man, I'm not
a fan of that quarterback room, man. I'm not a fan of that quarterback room.
Mitchell Trubisky's always going to be a phony because of the guys that he was picked ahead of, bro. I'm just going to leave it at that because he already said everything. So, damn, nice burn right there, Victor. I like it.
Hey, me feel this small.
Hey, wait.
No, man, it's all respect, my dude.
No.
Respect.
I know. I'm saying I try to pump them up. I had it like this.
I did. Yeah. And it was just marinating. I was like, man, no way, not Mitchell Trubisky, bro. We're not speaking highly about Mitchell Trubisky, North Carolina quarterback.
Anyway, we can't disrespect those Popeyes biscuits too, bro. With the honey on top.
You give him
but you need something to wash that down, bro. Yeah. You need something to wash that down.
You should have made him a McDonald's biscuit or something.
You need a big gulp after that, bro.
No jelly.
Dennis, give us the next one, Dennis. Give us the next one. Cardinals. All right, here you go.
I'm bully heavy today, baby. Go ahead.
You throw. Can I just say you throw out the bully way too freely?
No, I didn't. The first week I had a lot of phonies, but you know what I'm saying. We've given a lot of teams that are playing very well, and you can't tell me that the St. Louis, the Arizona Cardinals are playing like they're playing great, man. A lot of people in the preseason picked them to be a good team only because of Kylo Murray. They had him as an early MVP guy, just because of his dual threat. We said it earlier with the Canes about Canes talk how we can we're this RPO, this spread out, confusing, misdirection type quarterbacks. They're it right now. And Kylo Murray, it's like playing. When you play he's so small that it's hard to tackle him. So it's like you got to be on the field to understand that. And if he can throw as well. So I'm gonna get off the subject. They're bullies. Kylo Murray is a huge reason why I'm calling them bullies.
Who wants to go next?
All right, I'll go next. I'm gonna agree. They're bullies. Bro, week 1, they take out the 49ers coming off of that Super Bowl, and that's before the 49ers got all of those injuries. So that was a healthy 49er squad, and they just mollywopped them, bro. And not only that, they steal DeAndre Hopkins from the Texans, probably the best wide receiver in the NFL, to go alongside Kyler Murray, who they don't even need David Johnson because Kyler Murray is going to run the ball as much as he needed to. So that 1-2 punch is amazing.
And D Hops had 14 catches the first week.
Yeah, Victor, what you got, man?
I think they're bullies, man. Look, I think Kyler Murray is a special talent, and I was not a believer in him at all when he was drafted. I thought the height was going to be an issue. I didn't believe in him at the beginning of the year last season. He's proved me wrong. This guy's just a special breed. He's an athlete. Let's not forget he was a top draft pick in baseball. This guy can do it all. He's got the kudos to the Cardinals who have surrounded him with the weapons. I think the defense is super underrated. We forget about Patrick Peterson, another local talent from down here, went to LSU. From there, he disgruntled, wanted to leave Arizona, they found a way to work that out. And it all starts with the quarterback play, guys. This guy can get it done through the air and with his legs. He moves those feet extremely fast. So you think you're gonna trap him when you don't, and he's just getting it done with through the air, through the ground. The defense is there. I think the coaching staff is another underrated portion in Arizona. I think they had the recipe in line to compete. The only thing is a division. That's the only reason why I'm hesitant to put them over the top as a bully, to like really bully that division, because St. Louis is coming back. They're 2-0. They're heading into Buffalo, proving that maybe they've recaptured that magic from years past. But you're still in the same division with the Seattle Seahawks and Russell Wilson, as well as the 49ers. Despite the injuries, I still think the 49ers are a legit team, because I think they have the depth that nobody else has within that division. But I think the Arizona Cardinals are going to be a problem in years to come. As the same thing I feel about the Dolphins. Might not be this year, but in years coming, they're going to be the bullies of that division, because they have the youth in the division.
Well, you know what? You guys are stealing all my thunder, man, with me going last year. I'm not even going to play the Bullies Town, bro. Yeah. Bro, everything you guys have said was absolutely right. I like Victor said, I wasn't buying into the hype of the Oakland A's shortstop coming to play quarterback. I was like, all right, well, we'll see. But he did it, man. He's turned heads, and Gus said it with them beating San Francisco week 1. I thought that was as impressive as can be. A healthy squad. They go in. Let me see. I lost it. Who did they play this? Oh, they played Washington. Came in, handled business. Ron Rivera was coming off the high with the Redskins. Washington Football Club coming off the high, feeling really good. And man, they just took care of business. And DeAndre Hopkins, like CD said, best thing they did this offseason. I mean, what the hell's going on in Texas, man? Like in Houston, they just don't want Watson to succeed at all, man. We're gonna fuck shit up as much as possible.
That dude needs to get fired in Houston, man.
Oh,
you think about what he's done. The Dolphins have 2 first-round picks from the Houston Texans this year, and there might be really good picks the way things are going in Houston. And then you trade away your best receiver. It's just, you got to be scratching your head as to why would you do that to Deshaun Watson so early in his career. I think they need to get Bill out of there, head coach, and just start to revamp that, because you're going to waste away Deshaun Watson's years for no good reason, because you think you're bigger than the team, and you can't get along with, and you can't manage egos, because you're just not used to that atmosphere and having to be around men. You come from Penn State, and I know you were with Bill Belichick before that, but not everybody leaves Bill Belichick and has success. I'm hoping Brian Flores is the excuse or the exception to the rule, but and look, he has taken the Texans to the playoffs every year he's been there, but you've destroyed that team, man. A team that was promising. And I don't like the direction the Texans are headed in, and I think it's because of who's running the team.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like Achilles said,
never make your head coach well. They can't do both jobs. They have to just do one job and let the other person do the other job.
Damn, I'm bad, but I'm not Achilles bad, man. I didn't think the guy's name was Kyle until the draft. I saw him play in the Orange Bowl in the
against Bama.
Against Bama.
That was a great game.
Yeah. Kyler succeeding makes me feel so much better. True. All right, let's go. Last one, Dennis. We got one more, right? Raiders. The Raiders. All right. You know what? I'm going to switch it up here. Hold on. CD, you can go first. I'm going to just stand up. I'm going to give myself a little bit of props here, because this on our Friday show, we do picks for the week. And I got to give props to Gus, because he won the first week. I got tally up here. We did a limited run on the first week. Gus went 9-4 with his picks, and then this week Gus killed it, man. 12-3. But he could have had 13 wins this season. Gus over here picking his winners, but he went on the Monday night game. He went with the Saints over the Raiders. The Raiders, because I think the Raiders are some bullies, man. I'm gonna say it right now. I think the Raiders had a good feeling about going into the Monday night game. I thought all the pieces were in place with, new stadium, everything going. The debut of something, a tiny new toy with the big Death Star out there, or the big Roomba, whatever you want to call it. And then you got John Gruden really taking advantage of the situation. I think John Gruden was questioned so much at the beginning with the moves he was doing, getting rid of Khalil Mack and getting rid of Amari Cooper and all the stuff that was happening. But I think he's like a mad scientist. I don't know exactly. I can't explain the methods to his madness, but Chucky's got it down and he's figuring some stuff out that really is working. And I think that, man, Josh Jacobs is feeling it. Derek Carr seems to be buying in and really starting to do it. And they beat the Saints team. I know there was no Michael Thomas and Drew Brees is getting older, but I like what they're doing. I think they're really going to give the AFC West a challenge. So, who wants to go next?
I'll go next then. I personally don't have enough on them, and I don't feel comfortable with how the Raiders are, only because of last year. I'm going to call them phonies. I'm still up in the air with Derek Carr. Just something about that team. I just feel as it gets later in the year, their true colors are going to show. The running back position is strong. The receiver core is still up there. They got the guy in the first round, but to me, I don't see enough of the Raiders. And to be honest with you, I don't feel comfortable making them bullies just because of the fact, even though they beat the New Orleans Saints, that's a strong team with Drew Brees. I just personally don't feel like they're strong enough. And not just to go against you, Edwin, I was going to call them phonies regardless.
All right, Gus, what you got?
When a bully tries to fight some kid and that kid beats up the bully, and then that kid tries to become a bully, but he's not really a bully?
Yeah.
That's the Raiders. They're not bullies. I'm sorry, I got to call them phonies. I don't think they're phonies, but they're not going to go around bullying everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But they're that kid that bullies don't fuck with.
Okay.
You feel me? So, Saints came to town, and I honestly thought the Saints were going to whoop their ass. But, bro, Raiders win, and they did their thing. Derek Carr win, and he fucking signed his name on a stadium.
Yeah,
bro, hey, they did. What can you say about them, bro? And you're right, Chucky's doing his thing. They signed him for 10 years, $100 million for a reason.
Yeah, and you see the vibe after the game too, man, with the celebration. Like you're looking at it, you see I guess somehow Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper weren't guys that he wanted.
Yeah.
As crazy as that sounds, but he's turned those into good players, and he's building a thing. I'm just impressed.
Waller balled out.
Yeah, man.
And he's had some rough years before the Raiders. You know what I mean?
Good stuff there. Victor, what you got, man?
I agree with TD, man. I don't necessarily have enough on them, so I'm going to call them phonies. I think it's too early in the season. I think they're taking advantage of the fact that there has been no preseason and teams don't have much on them. I think the Saints took them lightly. I think, look, I'm a fan of the Raiders moving forward. I think the pairing between Mike Mayock and John Gruden is going to be a good one in the future. I think the Khalil Mack trade is making a little more sense now than it did a few years back. They have 4 rookies under rookie contract playing really good football. I think Derek Carr is showing some signs of what we envisioned him coming out of Fresno State to be. The receivers hopefully start being what we expected them to. I think the defense is going to be a problem in the near future. I just think this year teams have taken them lightly and they've taken advantage of that. But the reason why you're not a bully is because of the division you play in. And the last time I checked, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are still in that division. And that's the real bully of the AFC, not just their division. I think they've had some early success because of being taken lightly going on the road. The Panthers have shown they're an atrocious run-stopping defense. I think they took the Saints coming into town, and the Saints, it's in Vegas, guys. This is brand new to the NFL. God knows what the Saints were doing. We talk about that South Beach disease. Who knows what went down in Vegas 48 hours before that game was played? Did they fly in on Sunday? Did they fly in on Saturday? What was that like? It's Vegas, for God's sakes, guys. We know what the disease of South Beach does to the Detroit Pistons, to the Sixers when they stay here. What is Vegas doing to these teams? So I think that's the excuse for the Saints. And then the Panthers is just a bad run-stopping defense. But again, the main reason I love the direction they're headed in and what they've done. I don't think the trade looks as dumb as we thought a year ago when they sent Khalil Mack to the Bears because of what they got back and the fact that they're on rookie deals and Khalil Mack will be in his 30s when these guys are still under rookie deals. But you play in the division with Patrick Mahomes and the Super Bowl defending champs and the Super Bowl MVP and Andy Reid. That's why you're going to be a phony.
All right. Hey, fair enough. I'm on a lonely island. It's not unnatural. My views always end up like this, but I like what they're doing. I think right now, sample size, they can finish 2-14, and I'm gonna look like an idiot. Very likely that could happen, but I think that they got a potential. I've always also, full disclosure, I've been a big fan of Derek Carr for a long time. I've always felt like he has the goods. Never been able to put it. And honestly, the Raiders have probably one of the nicest looking uniforms in all the NFL. Damn, those things are nice, bro. They're always
Classic.
Silver and black.
Silver and black, bro. All right, so that concludes a nice edition of Phonies and Bullies. I want to thank Victor for participating, man. Dude, you came strong, man. I like it when you got
Hard.
I think it, man.
Appreciate it.
I wish all the guests were like that, dude. I really do. That always makes the show more fun there, man. I'll tell Jamie next time he comes on. You set the bar up here, so he's gotta too. He's
I'm a producer at heart, man. So I know what I want from my talent. So I try to bring it when someone invites me to their show, and try to just match the intensity and just gracious for the opportunity and thank you guys for having me, man.
Hey,
truly an honor.
Definitely.
It's our pleasure, man. Thank you again so much. By the way, that sweet ass Tua Libre shirt is a Lemon City Live original. It's available. We just launched it. It's available at lemoncitylive.com. Get the little shop tab, guys. Check it out. Gus also has the Sponer shirt behind him there. We just got that bad boy in. We got a couple of designs. We're still working on it, man. Look at that beautiful thing there. The Sponer, bro. Damn, that's so sweet. Wait, hold on. Oh, wait, Gus, hold it up. Boom, there it is. Get that bad boy in there. Available now at lemoncitylive.com, guys. Check it out, man. We've been doing this show for free. We never charge for anything. It's labor of love. So every little bit in these situations, things go back into helping us make and continue to make a better and better product. But again, I want to thank Victor for coming through, man. Appreciate it, dude. Hope you had a good time. We'd love to have you back.
Yes,
I know
sir.
he gets excited because we got some change talk on here. He's all lit and happy. Gus, are we wrapping up, or do you want to do the pack thing? Are we good? Where are we at? No, I know TD.
We're good, bro.
We're good. All right, guys. I want to thank everybody for watching, for listening, for participating. I want to thank Dennis behind the scenes for making it happen. Good luck to the Hurricanes. I got my Uncle Luke hat from 1981. Good luck to the Canes this weekend. We'll be rooting for them. And everybody else, stay safe, wear your mask, be good. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back on Friday for the Lemon City Live Happy Hour show with the Achilles. And guys, have a great week, man. Thank you. Good night. We love you.